guys, so today I'm going to talk about something very special. This is the second video in the Touchy subject series, and I named it I'm Fat and Ugly, and this is a very controversial, kind of a crazy name, but I definitely wanted to draw some attention to it and show you guys how big of an issue this is. And this is going to be a video where I'm going to share a couple of very personal problems, not problems, maybe issues that I have struggled with, that I have been through. And no, I don't have a problem with sharing, just because if somebody else can get inspired and if somebody else can learn something from it or relate to it, why should I not share? You know, like, there's a reason I went through that, and I believe that the reason that I did is to be able to help somebody else. So you're probably thinking, like, who is this pretty, like, skinny girl trying to give me advice on self-esteem and confidence and, you know, like, weight issues? And before you think that, I actually did struggle with weight problems, and mainly mental weight problems, and as well also I was on the verge of having an eating disorder around 15, 16 years old. It was kind of a hard time in my life. I was a teenager. Obviously I was like around 15, 16 years old. My parents were going through a divorce at that time, and it was a pretty difficult time. And I gained a lot of weight. I definitely didn't look like the way I look right now and the way you see me in the videos, but I definitely gained a lot of weight in that time. Like, I just overate a lot. Like, I would wake up I couldn't control myself. Like, I ate so much. Like, I would just wake up randomly at 1 a.m. and just like empty the fridge, like, literally. I think I just had like an overly appetite, and also I was going through a lot of stress, so like food was kind of like my coping, the way I coped with stress. So I was not eating for like days. I would like stop eating and like completely just like deny myself and everything. I would eat sweets, chocolate, like anything. I would like live on orange juice for like days, literally. I also later on, like, I would have like these spurts of like not eating and then eating a ton, so I felt bad and I would start throwing up my food, which is so bad for you. And I only did that a few times. It wasn't really like that much of a habit as much as it was not eating. But like, if I were to continue those things, I would be definitely having an eating disorder. So one day I just like looked at myself and I was like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, why am I harming myself? Why am I being my biggest enemy? And I stopped. And ever since then, I have never, ever not eaten for like a whole day. I mean, there's, you know, healthy processes where like people don't eat for a day to like eliminate the toxins. That's different. But like the way I was just starving myself. Like, I've never done that. I've never thrown up my food. I just stopped doing that because I didn't want to be my worst enemy and like hate myself for that and like do that to my body, you know, which is very, very harmful. And I stopped doing that, as well as I had some pretty bad self-esteem issues. You know, I've struggled with that as a teenager, and I just want you to know, like, if you do, like, everyone does, like, just as much as you do, you know. And a lot of people try to mask it. A lot of people try to, you know, I'm not saying that everyone has bad self-esteem, don't get me wrong. Like, right now I think I'm at a point in my life where I definitely know what I'm worth. I definitely know like the right point where I should be confident, where I should not mock myself for things, you know. Like, I have definitely reached that point where I don't like pick on myself, you know what I'm saying? But everyone at a certain point in their life have struggled, at least in some areas, you know. We all struggle with that kind of stuff. So even if you look at somebody and like you're like, oh, she's so amazing, she's so pretty, trust me, she struggles or she struggled just as much as you do. And if you're not going to learn to like yourself and love yourself, nobody's gonna help you with that. And okay, now what I want you to do is go grab a pen and a paper and write something down. Like, just pause this video right now, go grab a pen and a paper, and come back in a little bit. Okay, so now that you have a pen and a paper, I want you to write down the person that you admire the most. Like, I want you to think of a name and write down the person that you admire the most. Okay. And now, after you did that, I want you to write 3 qualities that define that person. Like, 3 qualities that you admire that person for. And now I want you to look at the person that you wrote down, the qualities that you wrote down, and I want to ask you, did you write anything like how skinny they are, or how beautiful their hair is, or like how good their fashion sense is, how much money they have? I think we focus so much on trying to identify ourselves with our outer beauty and don't focus our inner beauty. Like if you take those qualities that you wrote on that paper, you definitely didn't write anything about like how much you admire them for their skinny legs. You know what I'm saying? Like I want you to take those qualities and I want you to focus on developing them and becoming that person for somebody else. So whenever they think of a person that inspires them, like it would be you, you know? And I know that a lot of you that are watching this video maybe are struggling with weight, and maybe you are like a little overweight, and it is like really very, very difficult for you to lose that weight, you know? But I want to tell you, like, probably the hardest issue of people that do struggle with weight is, you know, like having girls like them or boys like them and stuff like that. Like, especially if you're a teenager, you definitely want to like draw that attention. You're probably thinking like, oh my gosh, like nobody likes me, you know, like how am I gonna get a boyfriend? Like how am I gonna get a girlfriend? But I want to tell you that, and you're thinking like the guys don't like me because I'm like overweight or stuff like that. Like I want to let you know that years will pass, and trust me, you don't need all those boys to like you. You don't need all that attention from a million boys. There's going to be one guy, like there's going to be that one guy, no matter how like big you think you are, no matter how like you don't think you fit those standards, there is going to be that one person that's going to like you for who you are, and that's going to want to be with you, that's going to want to date you, gonna want to marry you, no matter how you look. Trust me. And you're gonna look back and you're just gonna think like, I like focused on all these like little boys trying to get them to like me, or like trying to get somebody's attention, or trying to get popularity. People that were popular in school, like when I was in high school, most of them don't even do that well in life right now. Like I'm not saying that it's like an automatic fail if you're popular, but it's like you look up so much to those people, but really like it doesn't matter how popular you are. You can do well in life no matter who you are. You know what I'm saying? So I just want you to like not focus on those things. Like if you are struggling with weight, go ahead and try for yourself. Go exercise. You know, you're gonna feel so much better about yourself. You know, if you do try to go outside, if you do try to go running or on a treadmill, or download a program that fits for you and like try to start exercising, that's definitely gonna make you feel better. And like I know just how it feels like when we think, like we girls think that if only I had that hair color, I would feel so much prettier about myself. Like I would be so pretty if only I had that hair color. And we bleach our hair and we dye our hair. Now probably the most appropriate to talk about this because I have changed my hair color like back to blonde and brunette and all that stuff. But I'm very happy with what it is right now, and this is the closest it is to my natural hair color, and I'm staying that way, and I want to be myself. You know, I'm not saying you shouldn't dye your hair, but like you shouldn't let that define who you are. So basically, like just how we are, you know, like if we only get that tan, you know, we're gonna feel pretty about ourselves, like makeup, hair, you know, and then you're standing at a checkout in a supermarket and you see that magazine and that cover and you just think like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna be like her. And like all that effort just like goes back to zero, and then it's just like, it's so hard, you know, because the media is like trying to portray like those perfect women. And I personally really recommend for you to watch America's Next Top Model. I love that show just because you can see like they're girls just like me and you. Like they're regular, absolutely average, normal, like nothing too super like natural looking girls that take pictures, and they make those pictures look amazing. And it just really helped. Like it's been really a revelation in that show for me, because I saw like, oh my gosh, like if I would see that picture, I think like that girl is like impeccable, she's like amazing. But you see her in real life, she's fine, you know? And I just want you to know that like everyone has the struggle. Some people don't, maybe because they're narcissistic and they have a problem, but once or twice or like whatever, we all go through that like cycle of not liking ourselves. But I want you to really not focus on that. Like you have so much power to change people in a good way, to change the world in a better way. Like you have so much power in your hands, and if you just like not direct your power towards self-destructing yourself about how not pretty you look, and put it somewhere where you could really make a difference. Like you have so much power in your hands. And I am very passionate about this subject. I would just like want to talk for hours and tell you guys like how was my experience and stuff like that. But since I don't like making long videos, I just wanted to like make a video out there for you to maybe, maybe you can show this to somebody else that has a really, really bad self-image. Like if you can show them that video, maybe it can help them. I definitely am there for you if you have any questions, if you have any other suggestion for a touchy, serious subject, and I will definitely take into consideration. This was a request, so yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about, you guys, and thank you so much for tuning in and watching this video, and let me know if this was something that helped you, or if you have any other suggestions. Bye!